Today's episode is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Watch the Ace Shootout on Golf Channel Sunday, March 24th at 5 p.m. Eastern. Ace Shootout is an annual golf challenge that pits celebrity teams against each other in a series of golf skills challenges. Tune in to see sports greats like Roger Clemens, George the Iceman Gervin, Vinny Testaverde, and others compete and raise money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Kelly Davis, your host of the Untold Miracles podcast, and today we have a very special guest. He is a country music artist, rapper, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, and best known for fusing country and hip-hop, known as country rap. He has 6 top-charting albums, and he collaborated with country music legends Brad Paisley, Brantley Gilbert, Jason Aldean, Toby Keith, and many more. He's a former professional golfer who is dedicated to uniting people through his music and incredible charitable work. I recently spent a week with him in Hawaii for the Ace Hardware Golf Shootout, where he helped raise $2.6 million for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. I would also add he's a comedian too. He frequently says he gets confused as a supermodel. Mr. Colt Ford, welcome to the podcast.
How are you?
I'm doing so good. I'm really excited to talk to you today. I had never met you until we were able to hang out in Hawaii for a week, and you are one of the most fascinating individuals I've ever met. You're hilarious. You're such a good guy. You're so friendly and humble and kind, and so I'm very excited to do this podcast with you today.
Well, thank you very much for all those kind words. I appreciate it.
We treat 10 million kids at 170 children's hospitals across North America, and last year we raised $389 million. You had a childhood friend who went through a lot of medical challenges when you were younger. Can you tell me about that and how that impacted you?
My buddy that lived next door to me, his name was David McGill, and David was the poster boy for spina bifida, but for us, he was just our buddy, you know? I mean, he was just our buddy that we hung out with, and if we went to the skating rink, we pushed him. If we went to the store, we pushed him in his wheelchair, you know? Or we rode on a go-kart, we loaded him up or whatever. I mean, he was just our buddy, and to watch him every day get up and have a good attitude every day and be positive and want to do something good every day it was an amazing thing. And a little side story, I've known him for 30 years before he passed away, and they said he would live to be 18, but he lived to be 30. And when the day, I mean, I'd literally known him my whole life. We lived next door to each other, and I never knew his middle name. And at the time that he passed away, we were expecting our second child, which was a boy, and I found out his middle name was Reynolds, and so that's what I named my son, was Reynolds.
Well, Cole, I know that when you were young, you started golfing, and you also did your first album at 13, a rap album. Tell me how you started getting interested in rap and golf.
I don't know. I mean, my mom always told me God never gives you anything he doesn't intend for you to use, so I was, believe it or not, I know they might not think that now when they see me, but I was a very, very good athlete as a child. And my father had always coached sports and been around sports, so I had many baseball scholarships and golf scholarships, and I played everything, and I was able to excel in everything. But music was just something that always intrigued me, and obviously growing up as a young, you know, country white kid in northeast Georgia, I mean, in the early 80s, I mean, you know, rap was just coming around, and it was just something that I was intrigued by. I mean, I loved country music because that's what I was raised on, but I was intrigued by Run DMC and found a knack for doing and writing songs, and music's always been in my life.
Instead of pursuing music for a while, you were a professional golfer, and you played on the nationwide tour, I think, is that now the Web.com tour?
The Web, when I started, it was the Hogan tour, so I at the very beginning of it. It was a long time ago, but yeah, I did. Like I said, you covered that. Most people think male model when they see me, but yeah, I did. I played professional golf for about 10 years and made my living at it, and was, you know, that was good enough to do that. And you're always kind of, you know, people say, well, why didn't you do this or that? I mean, you're always kind of one swing or one putt away from playing at that next level. And, you know, I just, you know, wasn't in the plan for me to, you know, to do that. So I became a golf pro at a club and teaching, and I taught a lot of tour pros, but I could never make music go away. So I just couldn't turn it off. It just kept calling me, and I just couldn't stop. And I went back to it and got lucky, I guess.
Well, you've been involved with so many amazing collaborations. Is there one in particular collaboration that stands out as just kind of like a miracle moment when you were creating that music together?
I've never done any songs with somebody that I'm not friends with or whatever, so it's never been set up by managers. For me, it has to be organic, and it has to be real. Every song that I've done, collaboration, I've worked with somebody, I've always been a huge fan of theirs, but I kind of let the music take me wherever it takes me. And I don't write it and go, I want this for John Michael Montgomery, or this for Charlie Daniels, or this for Tim McGraw, or Eric Church, or Aldean. All these people that I've worked with, it's like I just write the songs, and however they move us, and I normally go ask the artist, like, man, I got this song, what do you think? And just kind of go from there. And I've been lucky, and it's very humbling that so many of the best artists in the genre period have chosen to work with me. And I'm on a small independent record label, so I don't have the money that the major record labels have. I just have my heart, what I believe in the music, and luckily those artists have all believed in me enough to be a part of it, so it's pretty cool.
Well, I would encourage everyone listening to go watch your video with Jake Owen called Back. The lyrics are amazing, and it's definitely worth going to listen to right now. You also wrote a #1 song for Jason Aldean, Dirt Road Anthem, which has been, I don't know how many times that's been played, but it's millions and millions and millions. What was the inspiration for that song?
Well, Brantley Gilbert and I wrote that song together, and it's actually my song. It was written for my album. It wasn't written for Jason. It was just written for my album, my very first album, and Brantley and I recorded it. It became kind of an underground thing. It just kind of took off from there, and Jason heard it maybe, a year or two after it came out. Matter of fact, I think we were playing in Florence, South Carolina. I was out on the road with him, and I got done doing, we were sitting there that night after the show, and he goes, man, it's just crazy to watch 10,000 people sing a song that ain't never been on the radio. That's just not normal. And after that, his producer, Michael Knott, really thought it was a good idea for him to record that song, and he did, and I'm thankful that he did. It's become the biggest song of his career and one of the biggest songs in the history of country music.
It's so amazing. And also, I want to plug No Rest with Javier Colon. That's also another amazing video. And you have new music. I got to hear a little bit of a private concert in Hawaii of some of your new songs. When can we look forward to hearing that new album?
I don't know exactly when the new album's going to be out. I've got some different ideas on this record that I might do, and it's interesting to see how this is going to turn out, because I think I've got so many songs. You did get to hear quite a few of them, which was cool to get to see your reaction to some of them. I'm thinking of doing something a little different with this project, and maybe putting out a few songs every couple of months till the end of the year, and then maybe putting 20 or 25 songs on a double record at the end of the year. So I don't know. Just stay tuned. It's going to be cool. It
is a work in progress. I'm really excited. There's one song, I don't remember which one it was, but do you remember the one we were busting up at the lyrics? It was so funny. It was just so clever, and I can't remember the song, but anyway, I'm excited.
I don't remember.
I'm excited to hear that one. Well, Colt, you have a really loyal fan base.
I am my fan, if that makes any sense. I mean, I am them. I'm not some kind of star that flies around in jets and stuff. I mean, that's fine. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It'd be cool to be able to do, but I mean, I think they just relate to me on a very personal level. I'm a man of the people, so to speak. I think it's that. I mean, I'm just very relatable to them. I make sense to most of them. I talk about things that they understand. I talk in a way that they understand it. And I love people. It bothers me when some artists don't want to take pictures or sign autographs or whatever. I mean, I understand certain situations might not work out, but for me, I'm never unhappy with taking a picture or signing an autograph, because without the fans, I mean, I don't get to do this. So I just don't take that for granted.
Well, I will say, when we were with all of our vendors at the Ace Hardware Shootout, you were so kind and friendly. And there's actually a very special surprise on the show. So people can tune in on March 24th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and they can watch you on the golf course in a way that we have never seen you before. So just a little plug for that show. It's hilarious. And I think when you see that, you'll know why everybody loves Colt Ford, because he truly is his fans, and you're just humble.
listen, we all got something we can do. Every one of us has something that we're good at or whatever. So I just don't like when people, get a little too caught up in themselves and thinking it's all about them or they're too cool. And it's like, you know what? I mean, just be humble and thankful that God's given you the ability to do whatever it is that you can do. And when you're sitting there looking at these kids and that are dealing with so much and their parents, and you just go, you know what? It ain't about me.
Well, I have some quick fire questions for you before we end.
Yeah.
You've played golf with Tiger and Phil, who is a very good friend of yours. If you could play with anyone in your foursome, who would you want it to be?
Wow, I've been asked that a lot lately. I need to put a little more thought behind it. Myself, I've been lucky to play golf with quite a few, not just celebrities, but some of the greatest golfers of all time. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's so many people that I enjoy being with. I know for sure I'd have my dad there. I'd probably like to have Arnold Palmer there. Maybe my dad, Arnold Palmer, Lee Trevino, Jack Nicklaus, guys like that. I mean, I don't know.
I love it.
I don't know. There's so many cool people. I mean, like I don't even know where to begin with that.
Who is the favorite celebrity you've ever played with at Pebble Beach?
At Pebble, the last few years, me and Toby have played in the same group together every day, every year. So, which is always fun. I love Toby. He's been super good to me. And I just like playing with people that want to have fun, whoever that is. I don't care if you're famous or not. That doesn't make no difference to me. I just like good people.
Your favorite city to perform in?
I wouldn't say I have a favorite. I mean, if they're having fun and they're loving it, then I love it.
Who's the biggest inspiration for you in your music career?
I don't know that it's an individual person. It's multiple artists and multiple songs and, from multiple genres and multiple eras. I mean, I know that sounds a little vague, and I don't mean to be that, but I mean, that's really true. I'm just being honest. Like, it's all that stuff. I meant, like, so many different eras. I mean, I love Earth, Wind, and Fire and Kool and the Gang, and I love Run DMC, and I love Waylon Jennings, and I love Elvis. I meant, like, it's just, music is just all over the place for me, and that's what I love about it. Music really transcends politics and religion, and, that's what, to me, is one of the things that makes it so unbelievably special.
Is there a proudest moment of your golf career?
I don't know necessarily if there's one particular moment. I've been lucky. I've won multiple tournaments in my life and multiple professional tournaments and multiple amateur events. And so I don't know. One of the coolest things that has ever happened, I would guess, is the very first tournament I played in as a professional. I think it was called the Powerbuilt Tour. It was a mini tour event, and it was in Florence, South Carolina. I remember that specifically at a golf course called the Traces. And, it's your very first tournament. It was the off season for the regular tour, and I was playing with a former PGA Tour winner, and just super nervous, I mean, I went in there hitting it really good and full of confidence, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is for real, and you're not an amateur anymore, and you're going to play for your supper. And I was so nervous. I hit it about 10 feet on the first 3 holes in a row, and I 3-putted all 3 of them. I mean, I hit great shots in there 3 holes in a row, 3-putted 3 times in a row, and I just didn't know. I felt like I was standing on the 4th tee. I thought I was going to cry. That's the neat thing about golf is I can't call timeout. I don't have somebody that can come in there and fill in for me. I mean, it's just either you figure it out or you don't. And my parents were there watching, and they're tore up watching me, do that, and they know that I'm upset, and there's nothing they can do either. But on the 4th hole, after bogeying the first 3, I knocked a 7-iron in the hole for hole in 1, the very first par 3 I ever played as a pro, and then I played the next 14 holes 7 under par. So one swing kind of changed the whole momentum of things. So
well, that's just like a great analogy for life.
That's why you got to keep plugging away, keep fighting, keep trying, and that's another reason to be so involved with what Children's Miracle Network's doing and being a part of what ACE is doing to give back the money. Is those kids, that's what they need to know, and they need to feel that every day. Like the next day, who knows? There's so many things that when they started, they didn't have a cure for this or they didn't have a cure for that, but one day they did. And so you just got to hopefully keep fighting along and trying to make the best of it, and maybe that day comes. I
want to know the biggest miracle that's happened in your life to date.
Well, you're giving me some hard questions, Kelly. I guess my kids, really, to be honest with you, I don't I don't know what else, when you get to see that, I mean, that's a pretty amazing thing to see the miracle of life and to be a part of it as a father. That's a pretty big miracle. Having a career in music is probably a miracle too. So I don't know. I mean, according to everybody else, it shouldn't have happened, but I was too hard-headed to listen, I guess.
The last question that I ask to all of my guests, if there were 3 miracles that you could create in the world today, what would that look like for you?
For me, you'd want to end homelessness and hunger. When you're watching, our veterans or children or our elderly that have done so much to get us here, and so many of them are struggling, and we're not finding out ways to help them. It would certainly be somewhere in that arena. Suffering from hunger or homelessness just doesn't make sense to me, and it'd be great to be able to do something about that.
As I mentioned, everyone can watch Colt play in the Ace Hardware Golf Shootout on March 24th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and watch him raise a lot of money for the 10 million kids treated at Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And thanks again, Colt, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, and thanks for letting me be a part of such a great thing.
Miracles happen every day in children's hospitals, and for 1 week every year, we celebrate those miracles during Children's Hospitals Week, March 18th through the 24th. Children's Hospitals Week is a celebration focused on helping kids and ensuring hospitals have the funds they need to care for more than 10 million kids a year. Government and insurance programs don't begin to cover these costs. That's why donations are vital to children's hospitals. Join us in celebrating this week by tuning into our Facebook Live-a-thon on March 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and meet inspiring kids, committed corporate partners, and surprise celebrity guests. You can also show your support for children's hospitals by wearing a bandage of your choice, taking a photo, and sharing it with the Children's Hospital Week hashtag. Thank you for helping us celebrate. Go to freebandages.childrensmiraclenetworkhospitals.org to order your bandage and support Children's Hospitals Week. Thanks for your support, and thanks for helping save kids' lives.